the geographical extent of the revolt of 1857. It will help you understand the pan-India character of the revolt of 1857, right? For Bengal, you can remember Mangal Pandey, again a controversial figure, Barakpur regime. From Assam, please remember Maniram Barua, Jagdishpur, Bihar, that is Kunwar Singh. Next is Gwalior, Tatia Tope, Jhansi, Lakshmi Bai, Rani Lakshmi Bai. Karnataka region, it was followers of or in the memory of Rani Chennamma or Kittur Chennamma. Then Kanpur, Nana Sahib, Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal. Acha, Delhi, Bakht Khan, the commander of the army, also Bahadur Shah Zafar. Next is Mathura, Devi Singh, and Haryana, Rao Tula Ram. Enough names. Or simply with the map, if it is difficult, just sequence wise you will write down a list. See, suppose I want to say why the belt was immediately involved. Try to understand. Bengal army having majority soldiers from Awadh. Now during Dalhousie, the Bengal regime, the artillery was shifted to Meerut. Immediately you understand logically why the entire belt will be involved. So here directly Bengal bordering Awadh, bordering Mughal territory. Now from Meerut you have a general understanding. It is a 2 days on horseback. It is accessible. Now from Meerut, if the soldiers are rebelling, they know that the British will come. And if the British approaches, what will happen? The punishment for, court martial, punishment for rebelling, it is death. That means they would always want to have chance to fight tomorrow. Delhi was a place which had very limited amount of British troops present. It is logical they would come to Delhi. It is a fortified city. They could protect their interest, and also they could later on erect Zafar to be their natural hero, natural leader, and the rest of the powers might, there was a possibility, extend their support. It is very logical. So the entire Indo-Gangetic belt was mostly involved. Now see Assam, it does not mean every part of Assam was involved. Maniram Barua or Maniram Datta, Maniram Diwan also said. Now Maniram Barua was in Calcutta. He saw everybody rebelling, so he went to Assam and also rebelled. They had their individual vested interest back then. In Karnataka, of course, there were some movements. Because do not understand, it is nationalism. The idea of nationalism was completely rather absent. It is a process in the making. You cannot trace it right away in 1857. There were some elements, for example, the Gurkhas, for example, the Sikhs, for example, the Rajputs did not participate. It does not mean that they were anti-nationals, as you would want to portray today. They have nothing to do with today's nationalism. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the concept. I have seen in my experience people started fighting after the lecture. Some of my students were from Rajasthan, they started fighting. Others started saying you did not participate in revolt of 57. That means the student was participating. Again, it is very difficult to make the young minds comprehend. They start picking up fights all of a sudden, right? So that is the geographical extent. The 1857 uprising was the culmination of recurrent big and small local rebellions that had occurred in the preceding 100 years of British rule. Elucidate with examples, with arguments, counter arguments, you have to validate. It does not look for counter arguments. See, it is elucidate with examples and with ideas. You have to elaborate the statement. For example, if I answer this question, preceding 100 years, roughly 1857, you go back 100 years, you will be placed in 1757. This will give you a brilliant introduction that you can opt for. That is the Battle of Plassey. That is the story of Bengal. And it is talking about mostly the peasant uprisings and the tribal uprisings. Peasant and the tribal uprisings. The peasant uprising, for example, for the last 100 years, you will talk about the Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion. For example, you will have Polygar, Paikas, etc. Do not go beyond Paikas. You can also add Ahom rebellion, 1828. For tribals, Ahom has also association with the tribal uprisings. For tribals, write down the Chuar uprising. Write down about Kol uprising of 1831. Write down about Santhal rebellion. Add the flavor using map. Suppose you want to add information about all these, improvise it, see how does it sound. Do you find it useful? Create a map like this. If you have in the examination hall 2 inks, well and good. You write, suppose, different movements here. So in this way, different location you write down. And some you box it up. The ones who are boxed, you write down in the middle as peasant. The one who are written, or you underline them, something like that. That will be tribal. If you do not have 2 inks, If you have two inks, then accordingly you can present. That will have a better understanding. Then you give a general outline, characteristics of these rebels, and also try to add the British expansion, British military expansion or military campaigns, also territorial expansion. Briefly, it is not directly asked, territorial expansion. In this way, see, number of times UPSC has asked questions on peasant movements, tribal uprisings, directly or indirectly. So these chapters are very important, right?